Coming to you live from the town of Oyster Bay Skating Center, home of tonight's New York Islanders High School Hockey League varsity matchup between WSP Wantagh, Seaford, Plainedge, and Plainview-Old Bethpage. Plainview-Old Bethpage coming into this game, playing 8 games, winning 2 of them, and losing 6 of them with a record 2-6. Meanwhile, that's by the way good for 7th place. Meanwhile, in 1st place, pardon me. I was looking at junior varsity. Take it back. 6 games played with a record of 2-4. Plainview-Old Bethpage, and that's good for 7th place. No, that doesn't change. WSP Wantagh Seaford, Plainedge coming in tonight. 5 games played. They won 4 of 5 for a record of 4-1. Good for 8 points. And 3rd place in the varsity conference too. They have scored 23, allowed 19 for a goal differential of 4 by comparison. Plainview-Old Bethpage have scored 25, allowed 28 with a goal differential of -3. So don't let the records fool you. We should be in for a good one. And I will step aside. We'll come back for Puck Drop. You're listening to LI Sports Network. We'll be right back. As we get set for Puck Drop, welcome back to the town of Oyster Bay Ice Skating Center. With the puck dropped, we are underway. And quickly, it's Plainview, Old Westbury, with Old Bethpage, rather, with their first zone trip of the game, and we get a quick whistle. Plainview, Old Bethpage, wearing white jerseys with solid blue numbers and green trim around them. On the other side of the ice, Wantagh, Seaford, Plainedge in their black and white uniforms resembling that of the Kings home jerseys. There's a shot on, another quick chance. That one glanced off the post. Early chance for WSP. And now back the other way. Come Plainview-Old Bethpage. Backhander goes over the top. Great rush up the ice by Alex Labos. They continue to press. That one just goes wide. Good play made. Puck comes all the way down. Deep in the Hawks' end. Backhander out in front for WSP, and that's a good save made by Udit Surrey. Goaltender in for tonight for the Hawks of Plainview-Old Bethpage. Meanwhile, moving in with that one. Comes across to the other side. Ari Klarfeld. Good play made, and WSP break it out. With speed, it's broken up at the red line. Battling for possession of the puck. It's scooped up by Versace. Andrew Versace challenges defenseman Jack Purcell of the Hawks. The Hawks, of course, Plainview-Old Bethpage. I'll be referring to them by the name of the Hawks for most of this night, as it is a bit of a mouthful to get Plainview-Old Bethpage. Face-off to the right of the Hawks goaltender, Udit Surrey. Won by Plainview-Old Bethpage. Moving that one in, Daniel Lee. That shot, pad, save made. And goal for WSP, Joseph Columbell. He makes his first stop. That one's going to go down for an icing against the Hawks. Offensive zone face-off for the WSP Kings. Matthew Scaccia to take the draw for WSP. And he's able to get it back to the point. Played to the boards, the far boards. Back up for a shot, scores! What a snipe! And WSP, Wantagh, Seaford, Plainedge open the scoring. Justin Roberts. The drive from the point. And the early lead for the Kings. Face-off won by the Kings. Dangerous pass across, did get there, as they look to reestablish the zone once more and add to their early one-goal lead. Coming out from behind his own net. Good rush up the ice here for Marco Cinque. Rather, Marco Cinque. Meanwhile, opportunity just missed for WSP. Rushing up the ice was Joey Rotendaro. It just missed him. They're able to reestablish the zone after a good stop from Surrey. Comes back around behind the net, or it could be controlled by Scaccia. Scaccia keeps the cycle going. Down and around it goes. Battling for it there. Vincent Carrieri, there we go. But the Hawks come away with it, moving in with speed, cutting to the front, looking for a man out in front. Good rush up the ice by Labos. Taken back the other way. Denier lost it, gets it back, cutting through the middle of the ice. It eventually rolls harmlessly on for Surrey, who will cover up and freeze it. 11:08 to go in period number one. Wantagh, Seaford, Plainedge lead it 1-0. Face off to the right of Udit Surrey. Won by the Kings WSP. Still in their control at the point, comes to the near corner. Colin Height at that far point, gets it here. Height shot through traffic pad, saves Surrey. The Hawks unable to clear. Still in their zone. Finally trying to work it free, and doing so is Purcell. Gets it across the other side for Warren Chang, but he lost it. And the Kings will take it back. They turn it over, and it's sent back the other way by the Hawks for an icing off the stick of Ari Klarfeld. Face-off coming back down deep in Plainview-Old Bethpage territory. Face-off won by WSP. Turned over. Hawks try to break out. Good job to thwart that attempt made by Andrew Versace. Comes back in control of the Hawks. And moving into the zone, Daniel Lee. Shot pad save made by Columba. Comes back in the WSP zone. And they break out. Waiting for it at the opposite blue line. Sending it across, but unable to settle it down was Birch. The Hawks played out, and they're in. Lee, what a move, he shoots, he scores! Daniel Lee hit the brakes. And Joseph Columbell bit hard. What a move by Daniel Lee on the breakaway. Ties it for Plainview-Old Bethpage. And it doesn't get much prettier than that. And we're all tied up at 1. Just like that. WSP try to take it back the other way, get into the Hawks zone. And they'll take it right back. And moving through the neutral zone with speed, but had it poked off his stick there was Labos. Taken back the other way. The Kings look to establish the zone. Put around the net from Scaccia. Back out in front. Good chance there for Jonathan Lent. Shut down by Udit Surrey. Turned over. And Labos skates out with it for the Hawks. Labos on his backhand. Just able to put it off the side of the net. A good defensive play made by the goal scorer. Justin Roberts will get a whistle, though. And the game's first penalty. And it is Justin Roberts, who will sit for 2 minutes. Hooking the call. Plainview-Old Westbury to the power play. The game's first. Back to the point. And across. Sinkyu. Now just over the stick of Labos there. He had a good look if he was able to get it. Sinkyu unable to keep it in. Circles the wagons before trying to chip it in. He does, but it's chipped right back out by the Kings. Retreating to take over the puck, Jack Purcell. Hands it off to Marco Sinkyu. Up the far boards. No one is there. Eventually, Daniel Lee got there, but it's already played back deep in the Hawks zone. Plainview-Old Bethpage outlet. But it's taken back over and cleared the length of the ice by WSP. And getting there first is Agavino. Played backhanded out in front. Good save made off of Jonathan Denier. And Udit Suri is going to cover up with 47 seconds to go on the power play for Plainview-Old Westbury. Probably old Bethpage. And Wantagh, Seaford, Plainedge doing a good job on the penalty kill. 7:20 to go in the period. Face off one in the defensive end by the Hawks. Battle on the boards, eventually dug free. And moving out with it for the moment was St-Q. Taking back over, moving in with speed, Matthew Winslow. Winslow sends it back, to which a came shot save made. Golumbell on the stop. Toe drag, try to get his way through, but a good defensive effort to shut down Marco St-Q. And that'll do it for the power play. Hawks 0 for 1. We're tied at 1. 6:25 to go in period 1. Pass comes across to Ethan Cohen, and he had a hard time settling it down, and we'll get an offside. Well, you're listening to the New York Islanders High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Be sure to follow us on socials to be up to date on everything that's going around hockey across Long Island at LI Sports Network. Meanwhile, WSP entered the zone. It's Rotendaro behind the net. Cleared out by the Hawks. Kept alive at the blue line. Solid keep in there by Versace. Comes down low to Scaccia. Scaccia hands it off, where it could be pursued further by Height. Height being hounded there. Comes out in front, and a save made by Suri. Ray Tao shadowing Height. A good stop made by Suri. Face off to his right, deep in the Plainview-Old Bethpage zone. They win the defensive draw. Fired around to the near side, where hopefully Matthew Winslow will get there for them and clear it out. At least that's what they hope. But WSP have other plans. They keep it in deep. And moving in after it was Gavin Suppes, but Daniel Lee comes away with it. Looking for a teammate out in front. He's got one, and they score! Beautiful finish after a great setup from Daniel Lee. Looks like the goal was scored by Robert Lee. And the Hawks of Plainview-Old Bethpage take a 2-1 lead. 5:12 to go here in period number 1. Face-off won by the Kings. But a good play by Daniel Lee to steer it away. Comes all the way back in down low. Jack Purcell is there. Little head fake. Buys him some time. But he's unable to clear it out the near side. Puck came to St-Q. He'll try the far side. It's still not out. Good keeping by the Kings. And they'll continue to work at it. Played between the legs for the shot. A save made by Suri. Comes to the point. Kept alive for the moment by the Wantagh Seaford Plainedge Kings. Eventually controlled and cleared by Plainview-Old Bethpage. Moving in with it, Daniel Lee. Throws it out in front. It's turned over and taken back the other way. Pass just a little too far for the streaking Jonathan Denier. And a big collision there. Alex Labos, I believe it was Labos, went down hard. Penalty upcoming. Gavin Suppes is going to sit for 2. And Plainview-Old Bethpage go back to the power play, where they are 0 for 1 in the game. And immediately, Wantagh, Seaford, Plainedge clear. Recollected deep in his own end by Colin Height, or pardon me. Skating that one up the ice, Alex Labos moving in with speed. It's poked off a stick. Great defensive play by Jonathan Lent. And he will clear at the length of the ice. Surrey stops it as to prevent any harm from happening shorthanded. And the other way, 4-on-2 over the blue line. Shot deflects up and over the net. Labos joined by Winslow. Comes to the point, kept alive, solid keep in by Purcell. Labos try to chip it past the defender, he gets it back. Alex Labos lost it, and WSP able to clear. It's in the skates of Birch, and the Hawks reset. Carrying it in over the blue line. Ethan Cohen sends it around. Labos on the other side. Had it knocked away. It's not out. Good keep in by Marco Sinque, but it eventually comes out. Labos resets. 22 seconds to go on the penalty. 2:17 to go in the period. 2-1. Plainview-Old Bethpage leading Wantagh, Seaford Plainedge. Behind the net. That's Lee to Lee. Robert to Daniel. Scrum continues as we're back to even strength. Coming away with it was Robert Lee. Plays it down low for pardon me, that was Daniel Lee. And it just went wide. Winslow plays it to Robert Lee, who gets it for Daniel Lee. And Daniel Lee lost it. A good play by Jonathan Lent. But Wantagh, Seaford Plainedge having a hard time clear. They still don't have it. Great step up at the blue line made by Sinque. Keeps this play alive. Robert Lee fires, blocker save made by Columbell. Rebound, another save made by Columbell, and he will hold on to that one as he stopped Robert Lee and then Matthew Winslow. Well, 1:15 to go in period number 1. An equipment issue, it appears, for the Wantagh Seaford Plainedge goaltender, Joseph Columbell. And with that, we will step aside. You're listening to LI Sports Network's coverage of the New York Islanders High School Hockey League. We'll be right back. Columbell has his equipment situation figured out, and that's important. He is the only goaltender here tonight for Wantagh Seaford, Plainedge. Here's a chance. Pad save made. Surrey. Rebound. Score! Off the rebound. Ryan Agavino ties it at 2 with exactly a minute to go in period number 1. A great setup. Started with a rush up the ice. From Scaccia, Matthew Scaccia. And it finishes with a goal from Agavino that ties this game at 2. Labos up the ice for the Hawks. Labos moves in around everyone, backhanding it just over the top and wide. Meanwhile, 3-on-2, 4-on-2 over the line for WSP. That shot goes high and wide. And then a little shove after the fact. The Hawks skating out with it now. Setting that one in, but turning it over, Dylan Cohen. Coming back away with it and into the zone. Nice little move, but his stick was lifted at the last moment. Good rush up the ice for WSP and Colin Height. Scrum continues in the corner, and that'll do it for an eventful period number 1. 2 goals for WSP and 2 goals for Plainedge-Old Bethpage. You're listening to the New York Islanders High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. The scoring with assists from Joseph Rotendaro and Matthew Scaccia. Daniel Lee responded, assisted from Marco Sinque. And Daniel Lee got his second from Matthew Winslow. And then, as I mentioned, with a minute to go, Ryan Agavino scores from Jonathan Denier. And you're listening to LA Sports Network. We'll be right back for period number 2. I'm Ryan Branigan. Stick around, because we've got period number 2 coming right your way in just a moment. And we're set. Puck drop for period number 2. The period of the long change as the teams switch side, the goaltenders switch sides. Will it bear an impact on this one as the Hawks try to break out? And Matthew Winslow chipping it ahead. It comes back into the Hawks' end. Collision at the WSP bench. Tough sight line for me. A breakaway attempt. Daniel Lee is in. He hits the brakes again and scores. Deja vu. Daniel Lee, and oh boy, we've got some extracurricular activity over there, and I'm not talking about swim club. WSP, and in particular, their captain, did not like that play at all whatsoever. Jonathan Lent took exception, and he's going to sit for at least 2 minutes. as Plainview-Old Bethpage retake the lead, and they're up 3-2. It's a hat-trick goal for Daniel Lee, who has been nothing short of unstoppable here tonight. And pardon me, a wrong number there. It's Thomas Penzavecchia, who is in the box for WSP, the captain. Number 20. Without a name. 2-minute power play, third of the game for Plainview. Nice pass across, and a shot over the top from Labos. Kept alive, no. Comes out of the zone, speeding his way in, short-handed Matthew Scaccia. But it's retaken by the Hawks, and skating it up the ice with speed, Marco Sinque drags and left it behind him, where it can be cleared out to center by the aforementioned Matthew Scaccia. Regathered and controlled by Jack Purcell. He'll skate it out. Sends it up the wing for Daniel Lee. Drops it back for Purcell. Purcell around the net, still looking. Finds his man. Shot. Deflects wide. Came off the stick of Sinque, and all the way down it goes. Udit Suri there to stop it, and outlets to Sinque. Robert Lee sends it back to Purcell, who moves in. Purcell shot through a screen. Used the defenseman as a screen. Very high IQ play by Purcell. A good save made by Columbell. That pass across, no one comes on the other end of it. 21 seconds to go on the man advantage for Seaford Oyster. What am I saying? For Plainview-Old Bethpage. Meanwhile, good rush up the ice and shot, save made by Labos has been everywhere except the score sheet. Sinque, nice little move. A lot of head fakes at the blue line. Eventually finds space for the shot that deflected. It's bouncing and goes in as the penalty expires. And it looked like it last touched Matthew Winslow. And the Hawks extend their lead to 2. And lead it 4-2. A fabulous job, though, just to get it to the net by Sinque and Purcell. And I believe it was Purcell who did ultimately get it to the net for that deflection, and a bit of a wonky goal, but you'll take them however they come. Here's a turnover, and coming in the other way is Ari Carfeld. Lost it, and the Kings start up the other way. Moving in with speed, Jonathan Lent. Hands it off. Try to get it back, but it's turned over. Kept alive at the blue line. That shot doesn't get through off the stick of Penzavecchia. It's back around that front. Slap shot from the point from Lent goes wide, far side. The Kings looking for a response. Plainview-Old Westbury have scored the last 3 goals in this game. Good pressure from Robert Lee. Try to force a turnover. He might have taken a penalty, though, in the process he did. As Joseph Columbell started his skate to the bench for the extra man. Robert Lee will sit for 2. hooking the call. First power play of the game for the WSP Knights. Agavino to take the draw. Eventually controlled by the Knights. Lent back to Pensavecchia's blocked. He keeps in though. Puck goes along in deeper. Suppes had it for a moment, lost it, and it's cleared down the length of the ice by Plainview-Old Bethpage. That pass, no icing. It's waved off. The pass was intended for Denier. WSP take it back. Jonathan Lent, shot. Did it get through? No. Deflects to the far boards. Try to cut it in was Pensavecchia. He lost it. And Labos will lift it the length of the ice and all the way down back behind Columbell. Winslow forechecking hard. WSP, though, taking it right back and moving in with speed, cutting through a few. Jonathan Denier, but he lost it. Great play by Labos, who will spin behind his own net. Take a look out at what the landscape has for him, and he decides to, he'll do it all over again. Killing time off from this penalty and lifting a pass up for Winslow that missed him. Deflected to the corner by Columbell. Winslow plays it back out in front, or on the far boards, where it's whacked out with a high stick. The guilty party was Marco Sinque. And that'll bring the face-off all the way back down, deep into Plainview-Old Westbury territory. 6 seconds remain on the Wantagh Seaford Plainedge power play. And doesn't look like they'll get another shot. 2 seconds and 1, and Robert Lee is out of the box. They quickly turn it over though. 1-on-1 over the blue line. Looking for some help, and pass intercepted. And the Hawks take it right back. Collision right in front of me in the penalty box between Purcell and Rotondaro as the puck flips up onto the net and play is frozen. 8:27 to go in period number 2. Plainview-Old Bethpage leading Wantagh Seaford Plainedge 4-2. You're listening to New York Islanders High School Hockey on LI Sports Network. Be sure to follow us on socials at LI Sports Network for everything Long Island hockey, sports, and more. Puck comes to the far side, deep into the zone. Played once again off the side of the net, whacked off the side of the net, and Labos comes away with it. He moves up the ice with speed, chip and chase. Is cut off by Versace, and incoming. Mulder. Lost it, kept in by Versace, but now outletting and moving in with speed is Ethan Cohen. Cuts across, sends in deep. Played by the Knights, Kings rather, to the corner. Gonna try the far side, and getting there first was Matthew D'Amico, and they do exit the zone. Labos. Well, the puck just always seems to be on his stick, doesn't it? Another great move from behind the net before spinning it back for Purcell. Tries out the far side. Turned it over. Shot, glove save made. Udit Suri. As he stops a shrugging and frustrated Dean Birch. As Wantagh, Seaford, Plainedge really have struggled to get much going here in this second period offensively. Winslow carries out, try to get lead. Great defensive play made. That was Colin Height. Stopped an odd man rush and potentially Daniel Lee's 4th goal of the game. Here's Height. Plays it across to Lent. Lent on his backhand, puts it out in front where the loose puck is scooped up by Daniel Lee and he'll clear it out of the zone. 6:37 to go here in period number 2. 4-2 is the score. Turnover. Chance back the other way. Lent backhands one across. Good stick. Yeah, it's a good defensive play made by Ryan Botkin on the back end for Plainview-Old Bethpage. Comes out in front, spinning that one across, just out of the reach of the streaking Gavin Suppes. Regathered behind the net by Agavino. Agavino gonna skate it out and move in. He's got one of their 2 goals in the game. Plays that one across, no one on the other end of it. Labos picks it up for the Hawks and moves in and gets taken down, puts it across. Chance and a save made on the delayed penalty. Dylan Cohen, after Labos was taken down, had a puck just sitting there in front of Columbell. He fired away, and Columbell made arguably his best stop of the night. Back to the power play for Plainview-Old Bethpage. Jonathan Lent gonna sit for a hook for at least 2 minutes as WSP, the Kings, get an early, quick clear. Purcell comes back around. Moving his way through the zone. Sinkyu puts that one across. Couldn't find a stick. And the Kings clear. Denier is forechecking hard. Toe dragging that one, that gets blocked. Solid block from Thomas Pensavecchio. That shot just missed. Great chance for Marco Sinkyu, and he just missed it. Sinkyu once more. Puts it down low. Pressure is on. Back across, Purcell. Plays it down low, Labos. Finds Winslow. Winslow, back up top for Sinkyu. Or pardon me, that was Purcell. Now it's Sinkyu. Backhanding one to Labos. Puts it out in front, great setup, save, rebound. Winslow couldn't pull the trigger. But unable to clear, comes back out in front, and that one just missed. Another shot, save made. Columbell got a piece with the blocker. Labos with 8 seconds left on the power play. Down low it goes. And it's clear down the length of the ice. And Wantagh, Seaford, Plainedge survive. A flurry of chances for Plainview-Old Bethpage. And Columbell got them all. Face-off won by the Hawks in the offensive zone. They'll go to work. Klarfeld had that shot go into the glove of the goaltender, Columbell. Klarfeld could not win that face-off. Comes up the far side, where it's scooped up and moved out with speed by Scaccia. Scaccia gets it to Height, who moves in, and a great save made by Surrey. Height try to play it back for Roberts. Instead, it is controlled by Jonathan Syed. But they don't get it out. Here's a shot deflected. Just wide. That came off the stick of Height as well. Back down low it goes. Carrieri couldn't settle that one down. Meanwhile, that shot doesn't get through. It comes back on the stick of Rotendaro. Around it goes. And finally, the Hawks able to clear. And it does not have the legs for icing. Regathered by Justin Roberts. Plays it ahead. WSP into the zone. Comes to the near side. Matthew Scaccia plays it up for Rotendaro. Back for Height. That shot got through and a save made by Surrey. Height unable to keep that one in. Takes it back, tries to find some help, turns it over. And Lee takes it back. Puts that one out in front, and an alert stop made by Columbell. Fast break the other way. 2-on-2 over the blue line. Put out in front, nobody home. That shot blocked. Moving in with speed the other way, Robert Lee. Finds Winslow for the shot. Save made, Columbell. That might be his best save of the night. 2-on-1 down low. Lee to Winslow in the slot. And he is stonewalled by Joseph Columbell. Face off to the right of the WSP netminder. One forward and played across by Labos. Battle in the corner. Hawks trying to keep it in deep. Comes to Labos. Weaves his way through for a shot. Good glove save. Columbell there again. And Labos has been unreal in this game. That one, was it kept in? It was not. An alert glove. Not sure who it is. I don't have an 82 listed on the website. There's no 82. Well, that's who wins the draw. And Labos goes in after it. Chipped out by the Kings, but kept in. Comes to Labos. Labos across. And unable to pull the trigger is that number 82. Sinque plays it to Labos. Has it broken up. Kept alive by Labos somehow. But his backhand pass is intercepted. And WSP started up the other way. Moving in with speed. Toe drag to the backhand, but unable to pull the trigger. Great move. But Jonathan Denier didn't get it. He takes that shot. That's blockered away by Surrey. And really, Plainview, Old Bethpage have done a fabulous job of limiting WSP's chances in that period. As there are 3 seconds left in the frame as the puck gets deflected up into the netting. And then, whoa! We've got some more pushing and shoving after the whistle. Number 82 for Plainview-Old Bethpage skates off. He's joined by his teammate, Ben Starr, on the other end of things. In the box for WSP, Ryan Agavino, and he is joined can't really tell who he is joined by. He's joined by someone, and the referee's going to sort this one out. We'll step aside. You're listening to LI Sports Network's coverage of the New York Islanders High School Hockey League. I'm Ryan Brannigan. We'll be right back for the conclusion of this one in period number 3, and, well, the last 3 seconds of this penalty-filled period number 2. And we're back for the last 3 seconds, and it comes to the corner, and that'll do it. A period dominated by Plainview-Old Bethpage. And they score thrice. Pardon me, they score twice and lead it 4-2, with goals from Daniel Lee and Matthew Winslow. As Daniel Lee's 10th of the year, he scored 8, 9, and 10 in this game. And you're listening to LI Sports Network's coverage of New York Islanders High School Hockey. I'm Ryan Brannigan. Where are you going? You're not going anywhere. You're going to stick around for period number 3 and the conclusion of this thrilling game. We'll be right back. The goaltenders switch sides for a final time, and we are ready and set for the conclusion of this fabulous game so far. Between Plainview-Old Bethpage and Wantagh Seaford Plainedge. The Hawks and the Kings. As that shot from the point does not get through. And WSP have a chance to outlet. Puck moved up. Daniel Lee had it knocked off his stick. Kings look to reset. They're down by 2. And need to get something going. Not many shots have been directed towards the goaltender on the other side of the ice. Unit Surrey. And here's a chance, and offsides are WSP. Well, if you're enjoying this one, be sure to leave a like. Subscribe for more. We've got plenty of live streams all the time, all throughout the day and night. Each and every night for the most part. And of course, with the holiday coming up, would love to wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving. Puck played back in deep in the zone, taken away and trying to spin one on. It was a good effort, but nothing to show for it. And we'll get a whistle. Capped in by the Kings. Oh, they try to get Matthew Scaccia free there. Unable to do so, and it's regathered and moved up, and a good poke. Take it back the other way. W's it. Move in for the shot. Just missed glove side. He tried to go short side of the glove, and he just missed to the far side. Trying to battle his way through there, Matthew Scaccia. And it's taken back over. Robert Lee for Winslow, now to Daniel Lee. No icing. Lee first on it for Winslow. Back for Daniel Lee. Try to backhand that one through his legs and in front to Robert Lee, and it's poked out of his reach. And out come the other way, Wantagh moving in with speed. It's Versace. He lost it and taken back. Jack Purcell. That's going to be an icing. Faceoff coming deep in Hawk territory. Offensive zone faceoff for the Kings. Jonathan Denier to take the draw. He lost it. And it's taken back out by Klonsky. That's the number 82 I was looking for earlier. Kings break out. Scooped up and brought in. Shot hits the glass off the stick of Denier. And played out of the zone. Labos nearly got there. Could not, and it's sent in the zone by Purcell, who will chase it down. And Purcell gets juked. Nice play there by Jonathan Lent. And here come WSP. Denier's played it across, try to get it to the trailer. And a nice, I think it went wide off the stick of Birch. Scoop back up by Lent. Lent played it to Roberts. Now back for Lent. Lost it. Almost a breakaway for Labos. Great job to break it up at the last moment by Lent. Oh, defensive zone turnover for the Hawks in a stuff-in attempt. It is denied by Udit Suri. It was Agavino responsible for one of the two goals for Wantagh Seaford. Plainedge, the other. Justin Roberts. Jonathan Denier and Matthew Scaccia responsible for the assists so far here in this one. Played at the near boards by St. Q. Scrum commencing. Officials urging the puck to be played. The scrum continues. Eventually it is played out and sent in by Ethan Cohen. Comes to the far side. Backhanded out in front by Klarfeld. Nobody home. That shot finds its way into the glove of a not too busy, in this period, Joseph Columbell. He was awful busy last period. Or he very easily could have allowed more than 2 goals if his play slipped. It did not. He was fabulous. Robert Lee wins the faceoff back, but just out of the reach of Ray Tao. Circling back with it, Q. Now Tao. Now Winslow ahead for Robert Lee. Trying to get it back to Winslow. Good step up and intercept by WSP. And chasing after it, the guy who did the intercepting, Andrew Versace, comes all the way around to the near side. And out of the zone. Robert Lee tries to cut his way through. It's in the feet. Got it across for the shot. A save made by Columbell. Didn't get all of that shot. Did Ray Tao. He's got an assist in the game. Winslow a goal and an assist with 2 points. And of course the Daniel Lee hat trick, which will make headlines for this one. Labos steps in to take the draw for the Hawks. Wins it. Get it back to the point for the shot. Save made. Alert stop made by Columbell. And that came off the stick of Marcos Q. That comes all the way down. Scaccia giving it chase. That one ended up in the skates and turned over by Dylan Cohen. And the Kings try to take it back, but a good play by Labos. Knocked down and carrying it in was Deniers. He gets taken down, no call. The cycle is on for the Kings. Thrown to the front, deflected on goal to save. Another shot save made. Udit Surrey making some of his best saves of the night. Puck comes all the way back down. No icing as the puck just kind of died. Labos there for forecheck, but a good defensive play made by Versace. Poked along and brought back in by Penzavecchia, but he lost it. Q helped clear it out, and that puck will go the length of the ice and will be an icing as it just ever so barely crossed the red goal line. 7:34 to go, period number 3. The Hawks of Plainview-Old Bethpage with 4. They lead it over Wantagh. Seaford, Plainedge, Kings. Face-off one in the offensive zone by the Kings. Shot, low shot, sticked aside by Surrey. Rebound goes wide. And unable to hold in his height. Brings it along and circles back. Height carries in over the blue line, chips it, tries to chase it down. He's joined by his teammate, Gavin Suppes. Comes back to the point for a shot that just goes wide on the near side. Try to break it out, but unable to do so is Ethan Cohen. Now Cohen will break in. Cohen's shot flutters wide. Scooped up behind the net, chipped around, and skating this one out and putting the moves on, Joseph Rotondaro. Rotondaro brings it all the way in, fires across. It's stick to the opposite corner by Surrey. And eventually it's Skated free by Purcell. Jack Purcell chips it in deep. Goes to get it. It's in the skates. And fired out. Only as far as Robert Lee. Lee chips in. And is met with some resistance and taking it back the other way, Deniers. Denier. Cross, that shot deflected wide off of Gavin Suppes. Denier. Once more. Playing it to the near side. Benzavecchia back to the point, a shot. Save made. Udit Surrey was there to make the stop, and again, the opportunities for WSP have been mostly to the outside, a couple in close, but really a great job by Plainview-Old Bethpage to limit their chances. And there's another great play to just poke it out of harm's way, but they're unable to keep it up the ice. Now they are. And moving in with it over the blue line, Q backhands one across, backhanded again, and it's stopped by Columbell. Regathered by Q. Q hounded by Deniers, and that's not what Deniers wanted there. Careless penalty at a costly moment of the game. 5:14 to go in period number 3. And one of the top players for WSP will sit. Jonathan Denier. Power play opportunity to extend the lead to 3. Plainview-Old Bethpage. Shot right off the draw, hits the glass from Daniel Lee. And it comes all the way out. Q is there. Q sauced it across to Labos. Labos busts his way in. Flies around the net, gets it back out to Q. Now Labos. Try to flip it to Daniel Lee. Couple of WSP players there. Labos, now Lee. Cuts in. Leaves it for Daniel Lee, or rather for Robert Lee. Now Q at the point. Q, good pressure from this penalty kill. That shot across. Save made, rebound loose. And flipping it out of the zone were the Kings. And chipping it in and chasing in after it, Ryan Agavino. Instead, now Labos. Try to finesse his way through. Couldn't get through both WSP defenders. Scrum at the near corner. Dug out by the Kings, and they will fire it down the length of the ice. Getting a piece of it was Q, and he's got to get there quickly. A good forechecking Dean Birch is there. But they do get it out. And skating it free is Klonsky. Klonsky to Labos. Drops it back for Winslow. That shot. Columbell might have gotten a piece. Purcell breaks it up just outside of the Kings zone. 2 seconds and 1. And that'll do it for the power play, but you kill 2 more minutes off the clock. And I think that might just be more important for Plainview-Old Bethpage at this juncture of the game. Outlet pass to Flex. Comes back into the zone. Hunting that one down and giving chase was Dylan Cohen. Comes back around the other side. Lent to Deniers. Across for the shot. Save made. Udit Surrey got there with the pad. Lent takes it back in. He's unable to get around Purcell. And the Hawks clear. And they'll bring it back in. Klarfeld had it for a moment, lost it. Comes back to the point where it could be played back in deep by Botkin. Klarfeld. Now Daniel Lee out there as well. Purcell had it, lost it. Here's an opportunity off the rush for WSP, but that pass goes all the way across. And Botkin sends it the rest of the way it needed to go. Robert Lee there as well, forechecking for the Hawks. Minute 30 to go in regulation time. The Kings need to get something going here. They want to get back in this one. They had the net is empty. 6 on 5. Labos kicks it out of the zone. Versace. Now back to the point for a shot. Save made Surrey. Rebound is loose. Behind the net. And now on the back of the net. And taken off. Purcell pins it to the boards. Labos to the empty net. Wide and becomes icing. 42.7 seconds to go. Plainview-Old Bethpage leading Wantagh. Seaford, Plainedge, and WSP are going to call timeout with 42.7 seconds to go. That gives me the opportunity to recap this game. Well, each team had 2 goals in the first frame. Justin Roberts got things going for WSP, and a goal assisted from Joseph Rotendaro and Matthew Scaccia, his 11th assist of the year. Roberts' first goal of the year. And then Daniel Lee began his takeover. He scored his 8th from Martin St-Q, followed by his 9th, which was assisted by Matthew Winslow. And then Ryan Agavino tied it for WSP late in the period. His 6th from Denier, his 6th assist. Second period, Daniel Lee finished his hat trick with another beautiful breakaway goal for his 10th. And Matthew Winslow potted his first of the year to make it 4-2. Nothing doing score-wise here in period number 3. Face-off won by WSP. They need to get shots towards Surrey at any cost. Puck just pinned to the back of the boards. Dug free. Wraparound attempt. Save made Surrey. Rebound still loose. Puts that one back out in front. Comes to the point. Pushed wide. Collision behind the net. Battle for the puck continues. Winslow gets there for the Hawks. Takes a big hit. Purcell can't clear. And now it is all the way down the ice for an icing with exactly 9 seconds to go. Denier to take the draw. One back by the Hawks. Cleared the length of the ice. Doesn't have enough for icing. Labos is the first one there regardless. And the buzzer just goes off before he could usher it into the empty net. And didn't like that at all from Labos. Was trying to get the number. Was Dean Birch. Gave him a bit of a shove. But it's all for naught as a really dominant win for Plainview-Old Bethpage. They take this one by a final score of 4-2. And you've been listening to LI Sports Network's coverage of New York Islanders high school hockey. I'm Ryan Brannigan, and once again, I want to thank my entire crew here for really making all of this possible, running the cameras and running the scoreboard and doing a fabulous job of doing so. And I also want to remind everyone to have a happy and healthy and safe, maybe not healthy, I'll scratch that, but a happy and safe Thanksgiving from all of us here at LI Sports Network. I'm Ryan Brannigan.